All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good day to all. Today, I would like to present to you about the factors of bullying. So, let's start with this. So, school bullying in Malaysia has become the most prevalent kind of youth violence that has become a significant concern for pupils and global public health issue. It is defined as a type of aggressive behavior in which someone else causes injury or discomfort intentionally and repeatedly. So let's start with what is bullying. So, bullying is actually an unwanted aggressive behavior among school aged children that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. It, the behavior of bullying is repeated or has the potential to be repeated over and over again. And both kids who are bullied or who bully others may have serious lasting problems. So, let's get into this. There are four types of bullying that you may have experienced. They have physical bullying, verbal bullying, relational bullying, and cyberbullying. So, what are they? Let's get into it. So, for first off, physical bullying. Physical bullying is actually the most obvious form of intimidation and the easiest for educators and parents to spot, such as punching or smacking on the face. Those counts as physical bullying. Next, we have verbal bullying. What is verbal? It's more to name calling, so making fun of someone and persistent teasing are all examples of verbal bullying behavior, like calling someone names or for their stereotypes or some such. So next we have relational bullying. So relation is getting more personal. It is also known as social bullying. Typically happens indirectly or behind the back of intended target. And the behavior may include purposely leaving someone out of a social activity. So it's mostly like they bully you because of certain reasons, such as they might not be indirect. They might be outcasting somebody from the group, outcasting somebody in the class. And that's a type of bullying that is hard for us as teachers to see. And of talking about something that cannot be seen is cyberbullying. So what is cyberbullying? Is that actually an ability for perpetrators to hide behind screens? Bullying, hiding behind screens, also the hardest category to keep tabs on, and bullying might come from someone you wouldn't expect. All right. So, where and when can it happen? Where and when can bullying happen? It can happen anytime, but mostly it can occur during or after school hours. It mostly reported bullying happens in the school building. A significant percentage also happens to places like on the playground, on the bus. It can also happen traveling to or from school in the used neighborhood or even on the internet. So, like I said, it can happen anywhere. So, as teachers, we have to keep an eye on lookout for these children. So, what are the factors that actually lead to a student to bully, right? So, there are many environmental factors that could contribute to a student into a life of a bully. As educators, as such as us, we could identify these factors and help to assist their problems before it could affect others. So what are one of the factors? So one of them is demographic factors. So uh, it can be divided into three. We have sex, we have age, and ethnicity. Sex is that boys are more likely to engage in physical force, threats, or insults. Girls with feminine attributes are more likely to experience exclusion, rejection, or rumor spreading. By age, mostly bullying behaviors tend to peak during early adolescence and decrease as adulthood approaches. So, bullying usually occurs during the early uh, s- school years, right? And when we became adults, we tend not to be such a bully much, but bully still happens even in adulthood. So, next we have ethnicity. So, students mostly from minority ethnic groups are often targeted by bullies, and they lead to prevalence of racially motivated bullying, including the use of racial slurs and social exclusion based on ethnicity. So some minority groups receive prejudice and exclusion from bullying. So, next, one of the factors is that family and socioeconomic factors. So, a poor family self concept, often stemming from weak parental bonds or family conflicts, is linked to bullying involvement, especially for aggressors. Poor parental support and communication, along with a lack of perceived school safety, increase in likelihood of victimization. So, without any parental support or any attention given to a bully or someone who are receiving bully, they might be affected, might lead to somebody bully, uh, might lead to somebody to become a bully. So, positive family environments and supportive school climates can mitigate bullying risk. It can actually help to avoid this risk from becoming a bully. So, next is academic and school related factors. So, what is why is it a factor? Because poor school performance can correlate with bullying behaviors, such as when you're a student in a classroom and you receive such lower marks, students tend to see you in a different light. They tend to see you as somewhat who is weak in the academic performance. So these types of groups tend to be more likely to be bullied, or more likely to be a bully. So they try to dominate themselves in terms of physical behavior, like bullying. Uh, the great level of influences the frequency and type of bullying is a higher prevalence with during early adolescence. So, such as the age demographic, uh, the bully tends to be more higher uh, when in the early adolescence, but when you tend to age, and when you age and becoming adults, the bullying tends to decrease. So these are the risks of being bullied. So we have school failure, poor self-image, perception of school safety, and the limited support from parents and teachers. So, like I said, school failure students who perform academically are at a high risk of being bullied, and poor academic performance may make students more vulnerable of being targeted, possibly due to sections of weakness and low self-esteem. Poor self-image uh, can make students more susceptible to bullying as it could perceive as vulnerability, and perception of school safety. All right, so as teachers, this is important because students who feel unsafe in their school environment are more likely to be victims. So as teachers, we have to create a very comfortable environment for them to learn, and without and the lack of perceived safety might indicate a school culture that does not adequately address bullying or protect vulnerable students. And lastly, we have limited support from parents and teachers. So parents and teachers are very responsible to keep an eye on look on students, because students who feel unsupported by adults may lack the necessary resource or confidence to address bullying effectively. So do we okay how do we prevent bullying? So youth and adults such as us play an important role in preventing violence and creating a safe community where young people can thrive. So how do we prevent this? So we can try to be knowledgeable and observant. Teachers and administrators need to be aware of bully cases happening throughout the school, and they have to take this issue very seriously. If there's any case of bullying happening in the process, the teachers, that's us, needs to immediately intervene to stop it, record the incident, and inform the appropriate school administrators so that the incident can be investigated. Next is involving students and parents. So, as so we have to involve students and parents because they need to be a part of the solution. It's not going to be just us as adults and teachers. We have to involve the students as well so that we can actually cooperate to solve this problem. Students and parents need to be a part of the solution and involved in safety teams and anti-bullying task forces. Students can inform adults about what is really going on and also teach adults about the new technologies that kids are using to bully. And next, we have set positive expectations about behavior for students and adults. So lastly, set positive expectations about behavior for students and adults. So as teachers, we have to become a good role model. We have to set positive expectations. We could try by offering students a safe learning environment. We can try to need to explicitly remind students that bullying is not accepted in schools and such behavior will have consequences. They'll face disciplinary charge. And as teachers, we can create an anti-bullying document and having both the student and the parents and guardians to sign and return it to the school office, which could help students understand the seriousness of bullying. And that is one of the ways to prevent bullying. Thank you very much for your time.